Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallim taslima. Assalamu alaikum, all you Radio Ramadan listeners. This is me, Abdul Rahim Scott, here. We've got our program here called The Special One. And I'm on air live with the legendary Siddiq Makda. He has come in with me to the studio today, alhamdulillah. And we're going to have a little discussion over the next 45 minutes about various issues. I don't know if any of you people have got anyone in your family who's marked out by something a bit different. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all unique individuals, aren't we?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So if people have got children or brothers or sisters, you know, there's always something special about everyone, isn't there?
Yeah.
But some people have got that little extra something.
Hey!
What do you know?
No cheeky.
No, I'm being cheeky. I'm just looking at you. We're having a conversation here. And that little extra something, you know, and people, you know, focus on them, or maybe need a bit of extra help for whatever reason. And so this program, we're sort of focusing on individuals, children and adults with special needs of various different types. And like I say, everyone's got special needs, haven't they?
Not everyone, not you.
Haven't I?
No.
Well, I've got needs, haven't I?
No, you're
What
normal
is
person.
okay? That's the issue then. What is normal?
It means
How
like
normal am I?
you haven't got no disability. You can walk. You got no speech problem. No, like that. So I'm saying example. I'm giving.
That's true. So in those respects, I'm normal. But because everyone's unique and different, do you know what I mean? My sort of needs or my likes
Dyslexia,
and
whatever,
dislikes.
writing skills, maybe.
Dyslexia. No, that's right. Well, I mean, there's so many different things that you can identify as special needs. You're right. And let me see if I got any of them. Well, I tell you what, Zahra, you know, I got my daughters and son-in-law are you know, interested in. You know, a lot of people are thinking nowadays they've got ADHD.
I don't think it's true.
And she was saying, Dad, yeah, definitely, you've got ADHD.
No, OCD, not DHD. I think OCD is like.
You think I've got OCD?
You know, Monk, that guy. He's obsessed. Everything he wants is neat. That's the story about him.
Oh, that's.
He's got personality disorder. Obviously, like everybody's got. There's no cure for that. OCD, is
Is
there?
it? I don't know. No, probably not. But that's the other issue, is that sometimes, like, so Zahra thinks I've got ADHD, right? I mean, I don't know if
think
she
you
has.
do.
You don't think I do?
No.
Okay, so that's fine. But I mean, sometimes you have a little bit of something, so you're a little bit OCD, or about certain things you're OCD. Do you know what I mean? Whereas other people have got it to the point where it kind of like gets in the way of their lives. And
No,
that's
like
when-
that. Like he wants it uneven. He likes it straight. Everything in a certain order.
Yeah, no, that's.
In real life, does he really have that problem? Monk
No,
does.
I don't know. This is did you say it was a Netflix show that you watched?
I was asking you. Do you think it's true that he's
No, I think that'll be an actor.
not pretending to be OCD?
Yeah, exactly,
I thought in real life, because his wife died, I thought he's acting like impermanent, like he's all the rest of his life like that.
Well, no, I mean, I haven't seen the show, but is that what happens in the show? His wife's died?
No, truly, yeah.
Or the actor?
Yeah, he's.
Do you know the actor's name?
I don't know.
Google it.
I don't know.
No, usually with these shows, you know, that's why actors are paid money, because they're good at pretending to be something that they're not. So he's probably pretending to
In
be.
real life,
OCD.
he's not like that. We don't know.
Probably not.
Mum
We
will say
don't know.
that. We don't know. We've seen him when he acts like.
Yeah, I know. They're very believable, good actors.
When you
aren't
watch
they?
it, you see how he is. He acts different in front of everyone.
Yeah. So OCD is an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, an OCD is sometimes, you know, an aspect of autism.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
Didn't
so.
know that.
I mean, you know,
I'll research it,
because
but I don't-
sometimes I've certainly seen, you know, because I've worked in special needs settings. I work at Madini School in the special needs department, and I was at an AXA school before that. And you know, so I've seen quite a lot of children with autism, and some of them definitely have OCD as part of their, you know, autistic characteristic, where they've got to get things in a line, and they've got.
That's
certain
like
things
him.
they've
He's
got-
like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
similar. If you watch it, then you know.
No, I think usually OCD, you know, that will be one of the sort of the characteristics of someone with autism.
And he's a police officer, very clever. You know, when he solves crime, very good. You have to watch it. It's very good.
Is it?
Yeah, you have to, it's £40 in CX, please, to get the box set. I want to get it.
So would you describe yourself as autistic?
I'm calm.
You're calm.
You can ask someone on a chat box. You
You're
talk
a
too much.
chatterbox. You talk
Can you
too
put
much.
that theme to you?
Yeah, that's not generally a characteristic that's associated with autism, talking too much. That's true. So I'm not saying you, I'm just, I mean, because you've mentioned before that did anyone diagnose you with, that's an interesting thing, this, because you mentioned before cure for OCD. I mean, these things that we're talking about, like for instance, autism, or it's a shame we couldn't have Ismail in here today. Some listeners might know my son Ismail Scott.
Yeah, no, he's got Down syndrome.
He's got Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And a lot of people with Down syndrome have autistic characteristics, and he's definitely got some.
Yeah, I know. Totally, yeah.
But Down syndrome. Sometimes people say, "Oh, poor Ismail." Someone said he suffers with Down syndrome. Ismail doesn't suffer with Down syndrome.
He was born with it.
It's not an illness.
I know that.
Do you know what I mean? Autism's not an illness either.
No, he told me about Down syndrome. Like he was born with it. He told
exactly.
me,
Yeah. No, it's who he is.
Yeah.
And that's the case with autism as well. I mean, and this new word that have you ever heard this new word they call neurodiverse?
No, heard of it.
So neurodiverse, just basically, it's another it's a wide term that means anyone who's got whose brain basically works in a slightly different way from average brain or the majority of people.
Well,
and that's what I was saying before. Everyone's brain is actually different, but some people's brain is sort of wired, it's like someone being left-handed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're left-handed, your brain is actually wired up differently from a right-handed person.
I get it.
You're not left-handed, are you?
No, I can do both.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I write with this hand, right hand. I'll show you.
Can you write with your left hand as well? No, careful with that microphone.
I'll show you.
That's all right. You don't have to show me. I believe you.
I don't know. I find things different. Like you and me, are different. We're all different.
Now that is it. But that's why I was thinking of that example of left-handed, right-handed. The brain is definitely wired differently for a left-handed person. And some people there say that, I'm a creative person. And there's the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. You've got two sides of the brain.
People who are blind, I feel sorry for them. Like Isham can't see.
He's one of your friends.
No, his values. Yeah, obviously. I said, how neuron disease makes someone blind? Is it true that neuron disease makes someone blind? Do you know the answer to that?
Does what make someone blind?
Neuron disease. neuron.
Motor neuron disease?
Yeah,
motor neuron disease. I think maybe it can. I don't know a lot. I'm not a doctor.
If can we have a doctor on the show one day? We can talk about these questions. I like to.
That would probably be a different show. But we could. Maybe someone knows that we're inviting next week. But obviously, if a person, if a person
born like that.
Well, if you're born like that, it's a little bit different from going blind, maybe.
I think he was born like that. He told us. I think it's in his file.
Some great companions of the Prophet ﷺ were blind. Really? Sight, being able to see things. There's two types of sight. One is your physical sight, seeing things with your eyes. But the other one is the sight of your heart.
I didn't know.
In other words, that means what you can understand. When you say, "Oh, I see now." When you understand something, you go, "Oh, I see."
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you can see anything with your eyes, does it?
I didn't know that.
Does it? It means you've understood.
Yeah, I get it.
So that there's actually an amazing story about a girl called Helen Keller.
No, heard about.
So Helen Keller, she must have lived about 100 years ago in the United States.
Tell the story.
So she was a girl who was born not just blind, but also deaf, profoundly deaf.
Oh my God,
So can you imagine? You couldn't see anything, can't hear anything.
Oh my God.
So how can you learn?
I know.
So she was, and obviously there was less knowledge about special needs. There was no provision back in the day then, as there still probably isn't in some countries in the world anyway. So this girl was with her parents. Her parents were reasonably well off. They were quite well off, but they couldn't control her. As she grew up, she was kind of wild. And she'd have these temper tantrums.
Oh my God.
Because...
I want to read this book.
The book is called Helen Keller's Teacher, and it's about this other woman who actually had problems with her sight as well.
Oh, bless
so she had some issues, and I think she was orphaned. I can't remember her story. But she ended up being hired by this family to teach Helen Keller, or to look after her nanny, basically.
Yeah.
Because this girl was very out of control and difficult to deal with, and the parents were trying to get on with their lives and so on, and she was quite chaotic in the house. So this woman had learnt what's called one of these sign languages.
Yeah.
The teacher.
Yeah, I get that.
And so as she tried to work with Helen Keller, she started trying to teach her sign language.
Wow.
And there's this one amazing bit in the book. Like I say, this young Helen Keller, she couldn't communicate with anyone. And that was the source of her frustration. As human beings, we need language. We need to be able to speak to each other.
Exactly.
And because she couldn't, that's why she couldn't. And so she was, one day, there'd been some tantrum and she ran outside. She liked her teacher, but she ran outside and they were by this water fountain. And the teacher held Helen's hand under the water.
Yeah.
And in her other hand, she started making the sign for water.
That's cool.
So writing in her hand.
Okay.
And she said suddenly this light came upon the girl's face, as if suddenly she made the connection between what she was feeling, this thing water, and the word that she was being put on her hand.
That's clever.
And her whole life changed. So this woman, Helen Keller, she learnt how to read in Braille.
Wow.
She became a writer.
Wow.
She was very famous in her lifetime.
Have you got it at home, the book?
I think I still got a copy of Helen Keller's Teacher. I'm not sure if I had. I mean, if you Google Helen Keller, it's amazing. It's a true story. But the thing I was saying is that her humanity kind of blossomed when she learnt language.
That's cool.
So language is a key thing to understanding, because when we're talking about I see, when you see, she could never see in her life, but she understood so much.
Wow.
She became a very, intelligent.
Is it based on the film or not?
No, film might be based on. I don't know if they ever made a film.
If they have made it, let me know if they have. I want to see it.
Yeah, they might have made a film about it. They probably made a documentary. I bet there's something on YouTube about it.
Research it. I'll have a look.
I don't know when she died, whether there'd be any footage of her. But, so that's what I'm saying about someone who's blind. They might not be able to see physically, but they might have great insight. Like I say, there's a companion of the Prophet, who I think it's 2 or 3 times, I think more than any other individual, verses of the Quran are sent down referring to him.
Wow.
So he's actually, part of Allah's book in the creation. The word of speech of Allah mentions this individual who is blind. So
blind people
his status was very high. Of course, this person.
Did you get put the answer in some?
Allahu Alam, about that in terms of that's an interesting issue that we haven't discussed yet, which is like. People say that people with disabilities of certain types, they're genetities. If anyone say about that,
I am.
You got one. You caught.
Hopefully,
right. That's what people ask you, don't they? They say,
I don't know.
Well, obviously we don't know. None of us know,
exactly.
until afterwards. But people do. They say that to you there, and make sure you make dua for me. Take me with you, and all that kind of stuff. People say that to Ismail. I say that to Ismail as well, to my son as well. Yeah. So whether a blind person will be in that category, Allahu Alam. I mean, usually that's related to people say, like that your kind of capacity to understand things, like so if you can understand the concept of Allah and heaven and hell and what faith means and stuff.
Heaven means peaceful. Like we're gonna. That's a good place. We will live forever. We don't die.
Subhanallah, that's right. Then remember, that's originally why you rang me up, isn't it?
Yeah.
During COVID, so I got to know this guy in COVID. Isn't it? Because you rang me up saying you wanted to talk about gender.
Yeah. Actually, no, it's not. I just hang out.
That's it. It turned out he just wanted to chat. Because he's a very chatty individual.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that, which was good.
We have nice dinners together. We have done.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Meals.
We've had meals. We've had outings.
Yeah, went to the seaside.
We went to the seaside.
You rugby tackle Ismail. I still remember that. I tell the story about you.
I didn't rugby tackle him, did I? We were wrestling. No, it's called wrestling.
I didn't like that.
It's a Sunnah sport.
Aggressive,
a bit aggressive.
You don't do it with me.
No, I wouldn't do it with you. He's,
why?
Well, because he's my son for a start. And
you can't want to play with me. Play fighting.
Well, do you like play fighting? Have you ever done wrestling?
In the sun. I'll do it with you next time. Watch. I'll get you next time.
Oh dear.
You include me out. I didn't like that. Which you did include me in it.
What, in the wrestling?
Yeah,
you can't wrestle with 3 people.
Yeah,
that's not wrestling. That's called rugby.
Yeah. It was good.
Have you ever played rugby?
No, played that.
What sports did you do? Leicester, so one of the things we wanted to do in this show was talk about your experiences of special needs provision in Leicester. So were you born in Leicester?
Yeah.
You're born and raised in Leicester?
Yeah, I went in India, Gujarat, Jogwa village. My village is.
Have you lived there for a while, or you just visited?
I got family there in India.
Your family, you visited, but you've never lived there. You just visited now and again. But you say born and raised in Leicester, yeah? So what's the first school you went to? Didn't you go to a local primary school?
I was Piper Way.
Piper Way. How old were you?
Down there. I don't know where that is near. Where's that?
Piper Way. I've heard of that one.
Westgate. You know Westgate? It's called Westgate.
Yeah. Okay, it's called Westgate now. That's right. Yeah.
How
old were you when you went there?
I don't know. Not 14. About. I think, 14 maybe.
Okay, so you were quite old already, but where were you before that? You must have been mainstream school. Memphis.
The place at nursery, that's called. It's another one. I don't know what it's called. I don't know.
I think you were at a mainstream school, maybe in Highfields or Evington. No, before you went to Elsa. I think you were in a inverted commas normal school.
Memphis, that's what it said.
Is that
Burkitt House?
Yeah, those are all special schools. You've been in Burkitt House as well?
Yeah, that's with Wixton. It's nice.
Yeah.
I remember Ellesmere a lot. I want to visit it.
You've been so which one were you at? Yeah, Burkitt House. How old were you when you went there?
I don't know the age. I can't tell you. I don't know the age.
Can't remember. You don't even know how old you are now.
My mum knows.
How old are you now?
I think 47.
Yeah, you said that the last 3 years, mate.
What?
You said that when I met you. What? In 2020, you said you were 37.
I am. Almost 13, 89.
You will. You'll be 37 quite soon.
This year, I'll be.
I think you're going to be 37 this year. You know that. When were you born? 1980?
13 or 89.
89. Okay, so you were born in 89.
Yeah.
That means that, you're going to be 36 this year, I think. 36. Yeah. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yeah, I think you're going to be 36 this year, inshallah.
We want to raise money for bus transport, for if we can raise money for day trip with this company. If we can do it, like go somewhere like the way.
Day trips, yeah. So, well, here's the thing. So we're relating about your experience of special needs provision. And I know you love day trips, right? So when you in the schools that you remember, Ellesmere, Burkitt House, Piperwood, did you have any trips, any school trips?
Ellesmere, we went to Skegness.
Did you?
Ages ago, I remember that.
How many of you went?
So I don't know how.
Whole busload of stuff?
Yeah, it was like a minibus.
A day trip, or did you stay over?
Just day trip.
What did you do when you got there?
The seaside and fish and chips there.
Fish and chips, yeah. You enjoy it? Was it
I liked it.
How was the weather?
It's good. It was weather's nice, yeah.
What was the sea like? Was it clean?
Good.
Do you remember that beach we went to last year, though? That was not clean.
Was it?
No. I went in the sea, do you remember?
Yeah.
I wished I hadn't.
Where's the best one to go to then?
Well, I don't know, but I feel like the other side of England, the Atlantic coast, the sea is cleaner than the North Sea. Huh?
Which one do you think you're going now then? You don't know?
Well, I'm not really planning any seaside trips now.
I'm asking which one you want to go to instead of that one. Which one would you like to
You're trying to line me up to say, oh, now that's a plan and we're going and what date and all of that.
Yeah,
I know
we are planning it.
Look, the problem with Leicester is it's about as far from the seaside as you can get in the UK. It's miles and miles from the sea in any direction. I mean, it's a 3-hour drive.
You want to go to Brighton? That's really nice.
Brighton's far away. I don't know what the beach is.
Fancy Island's really good.
Ireland.
No, that's where the seaside is. Really nice. We went to very nice. Trust me.
Where have you been?
Fancy Island.
Oh, Fancy Island.
Yeah, I'll show you. In Maplethorpe. No, not Maplethorpe.
Maplethorpe. That's somewhere near Skegness,
You can go to that one. That's really clean.
Yeah, well, that's near where we went to. Look, the sea can be clean over that side, but some days it's just not clean. Unfortunately, they...
You don't want to go there again, seaside.
Well, it was a long drive, wasn't it? I mean, I spent 6 hours there.
We liked it. You can't go back. We want to go again. If it's a hot day, we can go, can't we?
Well, I was thinking Rutland Waters.
No, seaside. No, hot weather, seaside, mate.
Okay, listen. Okay, look, we're going to plan we'll plan our outings off air, all right, sometime later. Let's not everyone listen to our arguments about where we might go. So, because we're trying to talk about your experiences, especially. So you went once, you remember, to Skegness, and you had a good time.
And South Leicester College, I went to Alton Towers.
Oh, did you?
That's
quite far away. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, Tamworth. Yeah, it was all right.
Did you jump the queue? Did you have one of those things on your wrist?
I think we did, yeah.
Did you go? What sort of rides did you go on? Did you?
Yeah.
That's quite scary, right?
I like it.
Do you like it?
Nemesis, all right.
Oof. All right, he says.
Yeah,
You're like a hard man,
What ride do you like?
I don't like those rides.
You never been to Alton Towers?
Yeah, I have a couple of times with Madani. We used to go every year, actually.
Really?
Yeah, they used to. That was the school day, year.
Are you scared of rides, or did you go on any
ride?
Well,
yeah, I don't really like those sort of rides that shoot you around. I used to when I was a kid. I don't know, they make you feel a bit dizzy.
What ride did you go on?
I'm scared. I know they're quite safe. Oblivion, is that the one that drops down suddenly?
Yeah, did you go on it?
No, I sent my wife and Ismail.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
I don't think Ismail actually doesn't like those kind of
rides.
I went on one with him at, what's that other place? Drayton Manor.
Yeah.
And it was a roller coaster that goes, a circle.
Yeah.
Goes right round, 360.
Maelstrom.
Is that what it's called?
Maelstrom, yeah.
At Drayton Manor.
Yeah.
And he went on that for the first time, and he obviously had no idea what was coming up. And afterwards, he was actually quite angry. He was like, no, I didn't like that. Don't get me.
I wish I was there.
It was kind of funny.
And the other funny story about him, about Drayton Manor.
So, Drayton Manor. No, I can't see anyone.
Oh, tell me, go on. I like to hear it. I can tell you on Tuesday. I heard this story. Go on, you tell me more. Go on.
I can't remember any offhand. But when we went to Alton Towers, he started enjoying he went with one of the LSAs who he used to work with at Madani. Because my son Ismail was at Madani school. So it's my son, because he's not here, so maybe he'll be next week. So I'll just tell the listeners. So he has had a range of mainstream. I think you've been to mainstream as well, but you can't remember. But he's been mainstream and special schools. So he went first to Oakland School.
Right.
Which is quite near, not your side, it's sort of North
Ellington. I'll look it up. Maybe
yeah, that's a primary school, special needs school. And then towards the end of that time at that school, I went to one of his annual reviews. Did you used to have them?
Yeah.
Did you used to go to them yourself?
Did you have good?
Well, no, the teacher said that, he was good and he was fine, he said, and, he didn't used to like doing some of the work, which I know, he's kind of like avoids tasks and stuff. But she said, he doesn't talk much in school. And I said, really? Because he's quite chatty at home.
Shy, maybe.
And she didn't know anything about the fact that at that time we had a pony. And he goes to his my parents every weekend, and they live in the country. And she didn't know anything about his life. So that's a bit sad. He doesn't talk at school at all. And she said, well, the thing is that we've got these two boys, I think they were sort of ADHD, and they were slightly bullyish, and they kind of like they
that's
kind of
horrible.
dominated the group. You know what I mean? And they made all the noise, and if someone started, they were good friends, and if someone said things, they'd laugh at them, and they were only
nice.
little kids. It's not nice though, but if they,
He got bullied a lot.
Well, no, he didn't. She said, "Oh, he's very clever. He smells very clever. He just keeps quiet when they're around." So I thought, that's not great.
Yeah,
It's not a very good atmosphere, is it? I mean, that's the kind of thing you can have in any school, to be honest with you, that kind of relationship. Some kids it happened at Madden, you had a couple of big, boisterous kids, and other kids a bit quiet around them because they know that there'll be someone will take the mick.
Did you pick on him a lot?
No, I don't think they did, because he sussed them out and just was quiet.
Oh,
but I thought that's not very good, is it?
I
You're
know.
at a school when you don't talk because you
That's
don't
not
want to
good, is
take.
it? You have to
So I
speak.
decided to take him out of that school, and he came to Al-Aqsa school where I was working,
That's good.
which is a mainstream Islamic
You're
school.
improving a lot.
Well, that's one of the things I read, is that young people with Down syndrome, sometimes they end up with better communication outcomes if they're in a mainstream school, because they hear people talking normally around them, and so they hear normal speech, whereas in a special school you're less likely to hear normal speech.
Was the teacher ignoring him proper? Like,
No, the teacher wasn't.
I thought-
It was just that he himself
Oh,
was
I
quite
see,
quiet
yeah,
and keeping
yeah.
his head down because
Oh.
of these lads in his
I
class.
thought someone was picking on him. Maybe the reason why.
Well, they were picking on other kids in the class, and so he'd realised that and was quiet to avoid that happening to him.
Maybe he's a bit used to speak up. I'll tell them off. I would.
Well, you probably react differently, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like it's my. If you went Piperway, he didn't go Ellesmere, did he not?
No, he didn't go to Ellesmere.
How come?
So then he was at Al-Aqsa in year 6, and then he came to Madani school, where I still work. And in fact, I went to Madani school because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of my neighbours was working. He was one of the senior leaders at Madani at the time. I said, "Look, what do you think of the idea?" And he said, "Yeah, I mean, provided that the Senko there, who inshallah will come on next week, Malana Shahid, is happy with it." He said, "The only thing is that there's not a lot of experience of that sort of level of learning disability at Madani, because they've had people with special needs, but not really. And so that would be an issue." And I said, "Well, what if I applied for the job as his LSA?"
That'd be good. You liked it?
And so he said, "Yeah." So I applied for it. So I got the job as his LSA. Because when you have a statement of special needs, then you have in mainstream school, the school gets 25 hours a week. They can pay someone to be the helper, like a teacher's assistant.
Is that what you did?
So I still do.
Yeah,
so I'm a teaching assistant at Madani. And actually, when we went there, it turned out I didn't work much with Ismail because he doesn't listen to his dad. You know how it is. Do you know what I mean? He listened to the other LSAs more than me.
Do you have him in some lessons?
I did have him in some lessons, but it didn't go very well. He basically he ignored me.
Really? That's so bad. He didn't really do that. He smelled dog.
No, he was just like, it's dad talking again. Do you know what I mean? It was different.
Did he? What
It was where the other LSAs, he got to know them, and they worked out how to deal with him.
Oh,
so I helped with the sort of setting up some of the resources and getting them to work out his level and what would be good activities with him and stuff.
Yeah. Is he very naughty at home? Be honest.
Ismail, no, he's a good boy.
No, can't be honest. He does naughty things, but he does.
You want to tell tales of my own son live on air.
Yeah,
Subhanallah. This is Ramadan. You want me to backbite my own son live on air? Allahu Akbar.
Come on. What do you know about me? Am I naughty?
Well, at least that won't be backbiting. You've already said you're a chatterbox. I didn't have to say it.
Yeah, I'm a funny guy. Yeah, you have a laugh.
You are a
with me.
funny guy, and you can have a laugh with
I
me.
like that song you put on, the Western song. What is it? Go on, go on, go on. What is it called? I forgot it. Oh, that Western
that one, that folk song. What was it called? I can't remember.
I don't know. You have to put it on the air. We're going to put it on air this time. We are going to do it. 1 week. I will put it on next week. I will put it on. I'm going to get the CD and put it on.
I don't think we're going to play that one.
Folk song. I like it.
It was an American folk song, wasn't it? I don't know how you come to
Go
listen
on,
to
go
it.
on. I don't know how it goes.
Ended up in the car, didn't it? Anyway, so you went. So Ismail. So he went to Madani, and so for 5 years he was at Madani. And one of the reasons I wanted him to be there as well is because we live quite near there. I'm there, and he's known in the community. Lots of people in the community know now because all the kids he was at school with, they remembered him. Yeah, which is nice. Whereas what happens sometimes with special schools, and the special schools I think in Leicester are really good. He's had a good experience. You generally think your experience at school was good?
Ellesmere was good. Yeah.
And you made friends there. Do you keep up with anyone you know from there? No. Do you wish you did? Are there any people back from those days you think?
I got bullied there.
Which one?
Big City, the big lad. He came after.
You don't have to say his name, but yeah, I mean that kind of thing can happen obviously in any school. But how did you deal with that?
I just ignore it, just leave it.
Did you tell anyone? You told your mum. She probably dealt with it.
Mum made me go to that school rest of my time. I didn't want to go there. I got bullied a lot.
Well, it's difficult finding different provisions. I'm sure she
didn't let me go to another school.
Yeah, but it's not as easy as that as a parent just saying, "Oh, and I want
You
my
did.
kid."
for him, you know that it's not going to Monday. It was safe, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was safe. Yeah, I mean,
why I wish I went there.
Yeah,
I would like it.
Anyway, you can't turn back the clock, and I'm sure that lots of the things. Well, tell me some of the positive things about your provision. Anyway, maybe what did you like about some of the schools you went to?
I still get values that are hilarious.
You enjoy values.
Yeah.
So now you're through the school system, and you're at.
Values do lots of things like day trip. No, go out on a Tuesday. I go out, turn about. I got a how-to thing. It's a behaviour thing to keep me in track. That's really good. Like
you're learning
don't
from
talk
it.
Strangers. Don't be respect. You can talk, say hello. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah. None of this. What's your phone number? And
I know.
You're a bit overweight or something like that. That has happened when we've been out before, hasn't it?
I think I got a how-to. I can photocopy it and then show you the how-to.
That sounds good, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, it'd be useful to see your how-to list, how to behave in public. I could remind you of it now, maybe when we're out and about sometimes.
Do
you need reminding, or do you think you know it now? I mean, you know it.
I
think from when I met you, I mean, obviously we don't go out that often, but we've been to Eid events in Victoria Park, and we've been here and there, restaurants and stuff. I think your behaviour out and about is better nowadays than it used to be. I mean, when we first met, it seemed like every other person you were asking for your phone or telling your phone number or telling them they were overweight or how come they lost their hair or stuff. You have said that, which is funny, and you've always say, "Oh, it's a joke," but then I have to keep reminding you that someone else might not feel it's a joke. They might feel embarrassed about it. They haven't got any hair or they're overweight and stuff like that.
I want to go Kubastan with you on Eid. Before Eid, I want to go Kubastan.
Inshallah.
When's that? When
well, I don't know. You're always trying to pin me down with dates. The thing with this year, obviously, I'm working. Madinis were fully at school up until the Friday before the last weekend. So maybe on that Saturday, if we're not on the radio. I'm not sure if we're on the radio that last Saturday.
What day is that? If I ask you,
it'll be Saturday, the 28th or something like that. Saturday, 29th.
Might be Monday or Sunday
or the Monday.
To go before
so Eid. So that must be the 29th. Fast will be the Saturday, the last Saturday. Yeah. We'll definitely do 29 fasts, yeah. So
it's not 30, can't be 30.
Well, it can be, yeah. So then if the Eid's on the Monday, then we'll fast on the Sunday as well, and that will be complete the 30 fasts.
But we don't know yet.
We don't know.
That's what I said to you. If I just people asking me when it Eid, I don't know when it is.
That's it, no, you don't know.
We've got this week and next week, is that
basically,
right?
That's it. We've got 2 more weeks. We're halfway through Ramadan. So today's the 15th.
This week and next week.
This week coming up to next Saturday, and then the Saturday after that will be the last Saturday.
Is it? No, 2 more days.
2 more Saturdays, 2 more weeks.
I'm getting confused. This week is normal, and the other week is Eid, is that right?
No. So today's Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Next Saturday we're going to be on the radio again, inshallah. I'm not sure, depending on, whether I give you a pass or a fail, a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You'd have been great so far, to be honest with you. Although we got this issue of the numbers, haven't we now? We can only have 3 people in here. I was going to have 5 of us in here next week. That was my plan, but we can only have 3. Anyway, we'll work out the plan for next week.
Maybe I'll sit out there.
So we got a radio. Well, in theory, I suppose someone could sit out of shot, but then the microphones and everything. Anyway, let's not get.
Yeah.
So next week, next Saturday we're on the radio, and the Saturday after that is the last Saturday of Ramadan. So that's all of next week is Ramadan, all of the week after that, and maybe that Sunday would be Eid, or if not the Monday.
Saturday we're going Kubastan, or we not?
Well, that's it. We might. No, it won't be definite because
you have to tell you lot if you want to not.
No. I'm scheduled for this week and next week on the radio. I'm not sure about the last Saturday. They might be doing some fundraising or something. Sometimes they do that at the end of Ramadan. So we might just have 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. If that's the case, then maybe we can go on that day. Yeah, we stop making plans live on air. What? Come on, they want to listen to our discussion about special needs, isn't it? Not just like our random planning, what we're going to do.
I can get some facts for you for next week about autism if you want more facts.
Well, here's an interesting thing. I had a little list of things here, because what I was talking about before is how everyone's different, how everyone's got different. So autistic, it's one of those, I know you're interested in word searches. So autistic, if you're autistic, because rather than saying, he's got autism, which makes it sound like a disease. It's not a disease. No. It's how you are. So you're autistic, and some people are more autistic than others. Some people are very autistic.
Mine's mild.
Yours is mild, exactly. Some people are very autistic, then they can't speak. I've got friends that I know and I've worked with who can't speak, or other people who struggle in different ways. So their autism can be they're very autistic or moderately or mild autistic. Yeah. So let's think of other words that ending in ick. Can you give me any other? So like hygienic, for instance. You were talking about that guy on Monk.
Yeah.
Is that one of his OCDs? Hygienic. Yeah. What other words ending in ick?
I don't know.
Artistic. Are you artistic?
You mean like art? You mean actual art?
You're good at art. Do you like art? See, some people are very artistic. Some people are quite artistic, and some people are not artistic at all. Me, I think I'm in the middle.
I never seen you do art.
You know what I do? I make furniture and stuff. That's a bit like artistic, a little bit. Well, a little bit.
I've
You have to
seen it,
design
I've seen
things.
it. Yeah, it
and
looks
that.
nice.
Yeah,
You
you
made
like
it.
that
I
one.
mean,
You remember that one I made in the summer?
Look at it.
So that's so artistic and hygienic. Again, you can be very hygienic, like OCD. You can be a bit hygienic,
What you do?
or you can be a little bit
He
hygienic.
do wipes his hand all the time. He does like germs.
Here's another one. You can be poetic. Do you like poetry?
I don't know.
I like poetry.
I'm
I
a
think,
good
am I very poetic? I don't know. I'm quite. I've written quite a lot of poetry. Do you know that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You're
And some-
I don't. It's why you're joking. I have to see
Why?
your folder.
Yeah, I'll show you my folder. It's long. It's big.
No.
I've got loads of them.
Really?
Loads of them. Yeah, and a lot of them in Nasheeds as well.
Wow.
You've heard my Nasheeds, haven't you?
You got those tapes. I haven't heard your tapes.
So Nasheed is basically a poem that you sing, isn't it? That's
No,
what
the
a Nasheed
tapes,
is.
cassettes you got. I haven't heard it yet. You got tapes at home. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I don't think I've got any Nasheeds
You
on.
did. You got a tape cord. I've seen it.
Yeah, no, but I don't think I've got any of my Nasheeds on. So here's another one. You mentioned this one, dyslexic.
Yeah.
Some people are very dyslexic.
Yeah.
Some people are a bit
Yeah,
dyslexic. Some people are,
Yeah.
are just a little bit dyslexic, and there's a little bit of trouble reading. Or another one is a manic.
Never heard of Malik.
Manic. No one ever told you you're a bit manic.
What's these books you got here?
There's some poetry books, just in case. Hey, there's my poetry. See, it's not my poetry, but I thought in case we run out of things to say, that I've got some poems to read. I quite like reading poetry, but
Can you read
I
a bit
don't
of
think
poem?
you're gonna. You want me to read one?
Yeah.
Okay, you're
Funny one, not.
No, actually, one of these ones that I chose is a bit funny, actually.
What's about it?
So I've brought two books of poetry here. I like the way you're directing this radio show, Sidi. I like it. It's fine.
Okay.
So I like the way, because I'm trying to sort of follow this
I'm being
vague
good at-
plan. No, you're being brilliant, to be honest with you. Vague plan I had for this show, but it's fine. We're getting through a lot of it anyway. So
What are we going to talk about next?
so this is
Can I ask?
yeah, you
Yeah,
can
tell
ask me
me-
after the show.
I don't know
okay?
what you're going to talk about next.
No,
week.
you don't. So I'm going to tell people, you asked me to read a poem, right? So I'm going to go on the poems now. I'm reading from this book here, which is called A Kaleidoscope of Stories, Muslim Voices in Contemporary Poetry.
Wow.
It's quite a new book, actually. It's published
Where'd you buy
by...
it from?
I was given it as a present
Who buy?
by
Abdul
my
Malik?
sister.
I thought Abdul Malik.
No, my sister gave it to me. I'm my brother-in-law.
Which sister is that? The one who came to the event?
No, the other one.
Which?
Catherine's here in England, by the way, you know. I'm
Where
going to
is
see
she?
her today. She's
Where?
at my mum and dad's house.
Oh, I want to see her.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're going to get to see her. But no, it's my other sister, my younger sister, who's a Muslim. She gave me this book.
Can we go out?
And it's published by, just in case anyone's interested, published by lotetreepress.com in 2020 by Lote Tree Press. Anyway, it's a really nice book of poetry, all contemporary, otherwise modern poems written by lots of converts have written these poems.
I want to
Other
see her.
English-speaking, Muslims from our different communities.
I want to see Catherine.
And I know, but you're not going to because she's far from Leicester. And so I'm going to read a poem now. You ready?
Oh, this one's got
Oh,
the
yeah,
card.
yeah.
Look
Can
at
you
that.
just, you're going to let me read the poem? You're going to listen to it?
Yeah.
You might enjoy it.
Oh.
Okay, so it's actually quite interesting. This look here, it's kind of got related to, whether or not you mentioned about normal. So who's perfect, who's not perfect? There's no such thing as a perfect human being, isn't it? Well, there is, Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, but no one came like him before, and no one will again. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is called Way to Win. The Way to Win.
Wow.
Okay, and the poet, I don't know what the real name is, but they've written their name as I Am Shaheed, which is a nice name. Okay, here's the poem. The result is in perfection. The actual is in imperfection. Imperfection is where we are. If we're there, we cannot be perfect. We cannot be perfect. If we were perfect, we would never be in need.
Wow.
We would be like the one God.
Huh?
We cannot be perfect. However, we can most definitely be better.
Yeah.
To be better, we must do good.
Yeah.
Doing takes us further away from imperfection.
Oh.
And that, my friends, is a result.
Yeah.
I love that poem.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, you do. So basically it's saying that just try and be better.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a result. In
Yeah.
other words, that's what we're aiming to, is to
Yeah.
try and be a bit better. That's what Ramadan's all about, actually. It's actually a fabulous little poem, that. It's obviously not a rhyming poem. It's kind
I
of
think
like...
my mum would like it if you let
You
her
like
go.
that one? It's a really nice poem.
What other ones you
It's
got?
really
Any
good. Yeah, I've got some other ones as well. Another one I chose
You
here.
got a long one or not a long one?
Yeah, do you want a long one? How much time?
Yeah.
We got 10 more minutes. Okay, it's fine. Here, let's check. This one's a little bit longer.
Have you got any
This
true
one's
stories
called...
about Islam?
This is about Ramadan as well. You might like this one. Let's see if you like it. is called The Wood for the Trees. Now, there's a saying in English, I love this saying as well, partly because I like trees, which is that you can't see the wood for the trees. Have you ever heard people saying that? No. You know, he can't see the wood for the trees. In other words, right in front of you, what it is. And the wood in that context means, you know, like a forest. Yeah. Something's called a wood. Yeah, okay. Or there's a wood over there. It doesn't mean like, you know, things made out of wood. It means a forest. It's another word for a forest in English, isn't it? The wood. So you can't see the wood because when you're inside the wood, you're inside a forest, you can't see the whole thing, can you? Because all the trees are in the way. Do you get me? So when the expression, you can't see the wood for the trees, means you can't see the forest, the big picture, because you're right close up. Yeah. You're right next to the trees, so you can't see the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you were standing on a hill 10 miles away, you could see the forest. Do you get me? Yeah. You'd see the wood. Yeah. So that's where the expression means. And that's where the title of the poem comes. This is by someone called Medina.
I might have to get a drink from there.
Medina Tanur Whiteman. Let's not get a drink now. It's only 9 minutes. No, because I need you on air, man. You're my main man. No, you can't leave. No, you've asked me nicely. I've said no nicely. Maybe not very nicely. Yeah, after the session, of course. Yeah. Okay, here's the poem. Ready? I'll take your mind off it. I know you're fasting at least till lunchtime.
I'm not.
Till lunchtime, right? From breakfast to lunch. Come on, you can manage that long. You can manage a radio show's worth of fasting. He's looking at me. Anyway, you're doing it. You're doing well. Here's the poem. Here's the poem. No, don't. Because then you'll want water even more. Don't eat now. No, don't eat on it. It'll make us all feel hungry. No, stop. No, you're listening. Okay, it's called, you got that from out there, didn't you? You did, your old trick again. This guy's a biscuit thief. Allahu Akbar. Okay, here we go. Look, your mum's listening, remember. She's listening. Stop chewing on her hair. Of course she is. Anyway, listen to my poem. Okay, well, listen to you chewing while I'm reading the poem. This is the poem. I thought Ramadan was bliss, but Ramadan is death. Elders slipping through clefts, warps pulling away from wefts, souls graduating from nests, spit-hardened hearths of chewed earth, bored of counting trees and standing back to see the whole in multiplicity. Instead, entering the rings to seek the eternal central dot, catch the impossible beginning, like trying to say now and already being out of date at ow. Hearing muffled in search of the seed of silence, cocking ears to an ever quieter wave, always finding new nuances until they're certain they can step off the bridge and trust that there is no jolt. The line is a spiral, and the more you tease it out, the deeper it leads you in. 28 not yet. Ramadan is ego drive death. 1,000,000 momentary deaths, reincarnated with every breath, till no more breaths need to be taken, out of fear of no more breath. And there is no doubt left. And that the last shudder of chest is not descent into stillness or cold sepulchral rest, but our heart meeting a wave where it crests. Nice poem.
Can you tell any Islamic story?
Nice poem. That's a nice. Let me just explain that poem. That's a nice poem. So she's really, I think, yes, in Medina, it's a female poet. She's talking about the breaths of life, and how in Ramadan you're remembering death. You know, you're remembering. You're coming into coming into realization. This life is serious. We want to make the most of it, of every breath. But you can never quite grab that realization and that certainty until death arrives. Until you see it. Subhanallah. And then she describes that as, there's no doubt left when the heart meets the wave where it crests. So, subhanallah, that's a nice description of death.
Can you give an Islamic quiz next time?
An Islamic quiz? Yeah, we could do that. How do you
next week I'll send it to you, then put it on that screen on YouTube. Islamic quiz, if we can do it on there, you can answer the question.
I don't know if they can stick screens on the little TV.
You have to ask them.
We can ask.
YouTube, just go on YouTube.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah.
So
one of the other things in my notes is here. I mean, one of the things that I think there was a couple of things that I think your mum maybe mentioned that you had said that maybe in your life and in your experiences of special needs and the community. I mean, how much do you feel part of the community?
Happy, yeah.
I mean, actually, everyone seems to know you. You walk around Highfields, you know every other person.
Everybody
don't you?
knows me. Highfields.
Did you live in Highfields before?
Yeah, it's just so.
Yeah. Don't push that away. People can't hear you then. Be a bit nearer. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine there. But I mean, in terms of what you feel you miss, I mean, I know you love day trips. Do you think you get enough, opportunities to go out?
I got you. You take me out places.
What values you go?
Not like me. They don't do it because it's too far to do places.
Yeah.
I want to go just say we want to go Market Harbour. We can't do it. It's too far.
Would there be any? I don't think you don't. I'm not saying this to worry you, but I know the government is talking about trying to encourage people who don't work to get into work. People who are on benefits at different times.
I would like to work.
Would you? What kind of job do you think you might like to do?
Work with you.
Work with me? Doing what?
TA or you do.
Making furniture?
Yeah. No, the one you
work in school?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a teacher. What could you teach the boys at Madani, do you think?
No, like TA, like what you do.
Yeah. I'm a teacher. So that's what I do. I teach. What would you feel confident
help them
to
with
teach?
the work.
What kind of work would you?
Get them right. If they got a spelling wrong, I can help you with the spelling.
Are you good at spelling?
Yeah.
Are you? Is that you good at word searching?
Yeah.
Spelling one of your strengths. Have you got? That's one of the things I've got on my list actually. Have you got any sort of special powers?
Word search is very good.
Word search. Are you really good at that?
Yeah. Are you?
Actually, no. I'm really bad.
I'll show you how to do it. It's easy. You follow the line and you get down.
Are you quick at them?
Yeah, you?
But some autistic people have got these kind of like special powers. It smells a bit like that,
No.
He is, I'm telling you. You
Well,
know what?
how does he
He can remember people's birthdays, hundreds of people's birthdays.
Really?
Yeah, and he also remembers people's faces from ages ago that they've never met, and he'll remember their name. We only met them like twice, and he suddenly remembers their name.
Know that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is.
Sweet.
So his memory for certain things, like if I ask him what he's done at values today, he goes, I don't know, and he won't want to tell me. He probably can remember.
I know it.
But certain things he can remember incredibly well.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you put pictures in front of him and then you take them away and say what was in the third picture, he won't remember something like that. But if he's met someone at some event, and he'll remember where he met someone as well.
Yeah, it's clever.
Yeah, amazing. And some people.
If you ask him about EastEnders, they'll tell you straight away.
They did a film. Have you ever seen the film called The Rain Man?
No.
I've never seen it myself, but I've read about it. It was based on a real individual who was, I think, we call very autistic, but he had some incredible memory powers. He could read 2 pages at the same time, one with his left eye and one with his right eye.
That's weird.
And memorize the whole thing just by looking at it once.
Can you do that?
No. It's called having a photographic memory. I wish I could. I could memorize the Quran then. And you could just look at the page and you remember the whole thing by looking at it.
How long did it take you to finish?
So the human brain's incredible.
How much the Quran you got left to read? How much you got?
You mean
finish.
this Ramadan?
Yeah.
To finish. I'm just over halfway through, so I'm a bit behind because a few things that happened that got in the way. But
I know.
Why
you don't listen to the audio? You can get the whole.
You can listen to it as well. Obviously, I'm listening to it in Taraweeh as well, which is great. Yeah.
In Taraweeh, some people say you can do 11 rakats. Is it true or is it not true?
11? I think that's tahajjud, do you think?
No, for the Ramadan, is it 20
Taraweeh.
rakats? Yeah, Taraweeh.
Okay, so that's 8 plus 3. Yeah, that's 11, isn't it? Yeah, no, some people do say that. That's right.
But is it right? You have to do all 20, or is it not?
Well, I mean, it's 20 is what most of our community do.
Why is it 20? Can I ask?
So I think what happened is the Prophet ﷺ used to read 8 rakahs with his companions.
Yeah.
And then he would read another 12. We've got a minute left. Another 12 on his own, and then he'd do the witr to finish up his prayers. His prayer, which is the 3.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's 8 plus 3.
Yeah,
You mentioned 11.
Yeah.
So at the time of Umar radiallahu anhu, who was the second Khalifa, he felt for various reasons, he said, let's do all 20 in congregation.
Oh,
so instead of going away after 8, let's do all 20 so everyone gets, because there weren't so many people who knew the Quran well, so let's make sure everyone can hear the Quran. Allahu Alam, the scholars will tell you the reasons. Wow. So that's when they started doing all 20 in congregation.
Wow.
So that's where most of our community, the Hanafi community will pray 20 in congregation, but other people will say no, 8 is the sunnah to pray in congregation, and then you go home for the rest. So that's fine, both opinions are fine.
Do you do 11 or do you do 20 always?
So I go to the mosque, where the masjids I go to, they pray 20.
That's good.
And then they pray the witr after that.
Did they give you food in the mosque or not?
They give you a couple of dates at iftar.
No, I mean, I thought they serve some places they do food on the table.
Sometimes they'll have some masjids do a full meal after
you ever go
Maghrib.
to it?
I have been. I went to one the other day. Look, our show's about to finish. You're so good at talking. The time's whizzed by. Can you see that number clicking down? Subhanallah.
Subhanallah.
That's it.
Donate. Anyone got any
No,
books?
don't
to
put your face right near the microphone.
donate any books for me if you got any good old books or anything like Harry Potter.
Yeah, Sadiq's he's putting in a bid for Eid presents early to the community in general. Sadiq, it's been brilliant being on today. Jazakumullah khairan, everyone. Inshallah, we'll be on again next week.
Yeah, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What did expired mean?
We didn't.